And there it is.
Yeah, man. When the government is not willing to pay out reparations, what's the next logical option? Have white churches pay for them, of course. Right, guys? So.
Of course. Obviously.
Is Donald Trump slanging Bibles to cover financial losses of his legal battles? The mainstream media is reporting that that's the case. And finally, why is Bryson Gray looking like the forgotten brother in Blade's backstory? We're going to take a look at that later.
Hey, listen, I think you need to add a fifth topic. Why is Katie DeVessel looking like Monster from Boys in the Hood? Minus the AK-47.
Wow, it's about to be a roast episode.
Man, it's going down tonight. Okay.
An episode, dude. Welcome to 520 iXc for Monday, April 1st, 2024. Man, it's good to be back with y'all, man. KD, you all right, dude? You making it?
Yeah, I didn't expect that last shot from Mr. C, but it's all good.
You never know what's gonna happen when Mr.
KD,
C show up.
Man,
I learned something today, KD. I learned something today.
Oh boy, what are you roping me into? You learned today.
No, did you know? No, this is like true. Did you know that when you pass away, that your pupils are the last thing to stop working?
No, I did not know that your pupils are the last thing to stop working when you pass away.
Yeah, apparently pupils, they dilate.
They die late. Wow.
I should have known something was coming.
Yeah.
My God. Come on, Eric.
I'm with it. I like that.
What's good, Paul Towns music, man? What's good, Paul Towns? Welcome to the show, man. If you're watching, make sure you let us know, where you're watching from. Let us know that you're in the chat, man, whether you're on YouTube, where else? Facebook. If you're on that X, meaning the platform, the social media platform, not on the drug, don't do that.
Do people still do that?
I mean,
I thought they was doing that zombie drug now. What do they call it?
It's possible.
There's the Molly stuff out there, and
they stick it to the concrete and the heat, and I'll look it up. It's called lean or something.
Yeah. Well, hey, make sure if you're hanging out with us on YouTube, you go and add the Fresh Picks playlist to your YouTube or YouTube Music library. Go to 520club.com/fresh picks now to check that out. And then you see it in the hello, come back. Where did it all go? So you see it in the upper corner of your screen. There you go. Make sure you sign up for our Substack newsletter. Go to 520club.com/Substack. Get all the latest sent right to your inbox. We'll have a new episode of the 520 Club Show podcast coming very soon. So you want to get that right to your inbox. There's someone climbing down a ladder. Please be safe as you do. And
hey, y'all talk about me.
This is the show right here, man. Ain't no one tuning in on this April Fool's.
I live in an RV.
Ain't no one. Whenever you're at Substack, make sure you sign up as a paid member to be a producer of 520 iXc and the 520 Collective Show. Little as $5. We'll get that for you. So we would love for you to be a producer of the show, man. Man, okay. Forget it. We got to get into these introductions, I guess, man, because it's too crazy right now. I'm going to start with myself tonight. I'm Eric Boston. Again, hit me up on X, not the drug, the social media platform at Eric
Nobody
Boston.
does X anymore.
I want to talk to you. Dude, some people only have X money, okay? So,
you know what?
What can I say about myself?
They're facts.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say something funny, but I'm done, man. Let's go to my man KD.
Hello. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, happy Monday. Another episode, and just looking forward, man, to clearly it's probably going to be one of the more fun-loving and entertaining episodes. Just by the feel of the room on tonight, everybody has kind of brought their A game, so I'm going to sit in the cut and yeah, just watch for me.
He's lying. He's lying.
Zero.
Trank. It's called Trank. It's the zombie drug that all the kids are doing now.
You're making things.
They just
up
pass
right now,
out the heat and look it up. Trank. Anyways, I'm zero for hire, and and I don't do drugs. And I forgot what I was where I forgot where we were. What is this? The iXc.
Yeah,
It's WrestleMania week.
It's been a rough week, man.
WrestleMania week.
WrestleMania week. We had Trans Visibility Day yesterday. It's a
How'd you
lot
celebrate,
going on.
Zero? How did you celebrate?
I went to church and praised to Jesus.
Oh,
So, yeah, I'm one of the small demographic of people that still do that on Easter Sunday. You can follow me at Zero for Hire on X and Substack, and please do on Substack because Daddy needs that money. I'm going on layoff next month, so I only have my talent and good looks, so it might get wild over on Substack. We'll see what happens.
And with that, Mr. C.
No, Substack.
What's happening, my people? This is your man, Mr. C Live, man, and I'm so happy to be here. You can follow me on IG and X, formerly known as Twitter, MRC_live. You can start there. And man, once again, I'm blessed to be here with my brothers to engage in entertaining, but yet thought-provoking dialogue once again. Shout out to the iXc.
Yeah, man. And see, we got to tell them, make sure you guys put it in your calendars to hop in with us this Friday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a very special announcement from 520 Collective and 520 Radio. We'll be right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook for that. So tune in, hang out with us for that special announcement this coming Friday, man. So, yeah, man, let's get into it. The Boston Task Force on Reparations called on white churches to step up and pay the black community back for racial inequalities that root back to the transatlantic slave trade. The Boston Globe reported that black and white clergy members met in Roxbury for a press conference. The Boston activists called for the city to fully commit to writing checks and for a $15 billion payout since the city's wealth was built on slavery. We call sincerely and with a heart filled with faith and Christian love for our white churches to join us and not be silent around this issue of racism and slavery and commit to reparations. This was the Reverend Kevin Peterson. We point them in Christian love to publicly atone for the sins of slavery, and we ask them to publicly commit to a process of reparations where they will extend their great wealth, tens of millions of dollars among some of those churches, into the black community. That was Peterson going on to talk. There's some more, but let's start there, guys. What do you think about what the Right Reverend Peterson is saying here?
I'm conflicted because I am going on layoff next month. So, like I said, Daddy needs that money. But I also had my black card taken away when I became a Republican. So
you got to move to Boston, Spiro. I guess you got an RV. You can go wherever you want.
Guys, yeah. I'm gonna go gas it up. Well, maybe we'll see. Back to you, Eric.
No, you got run with it. What do you guys think? Make of this. One, the churches.
I'm gonna start by saying this. Of course, there is a whole bunch of history that suggests that sects of Christianity and, of course, secular government had a part to play in this. So, to me, if you're going to have this conversation about reparations, you cannot have it without government representation at the table. You can't put this and say, "Oh, it's all the church's fault, and it's all white Christians' fault, and it's all this one's fault when it comes to this type of stuff." You have to have, how can I say this? let's just say the government's the one that wrote in the original Constitution that the that the black man's only 5/8 of a man. The church didn't write that verbiage, so you can't have this conversation without government representation at the table. And it's obviously, this is not, for all white brothers in the, in your walk with Christ. But at the same time, like I said, you cannot have this conversation without government representation, and that's my initial perspective on it.
It kind of feels like when dad won't take care of the baby, and so baby mama go find another dude to do it.
Yep. That's a perfect analogy, actually. It seems like these preachers up in Massachusetts can't get the right government representation at the table, so they go, oh, let's just go to the white church and let's have them come up with $15 billion. Like,
if they do it,
it doesn't make any sense.
It will be hilarious.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know how to approach this seriously. KD, please save me.
Dude, what?
I don't know how to approach this topic.
I told KD he's lying. He's like, oh, I'm gonna sit here. I'm just gonna post up and chill.
We need you, bro.
Let the entertainment.
I don't know
why does Boston? Now, don't get me wrong. I know that Boston is racist. This we know. It is well documented. We get that. But why do they have a task force on reparations? Whose idea was it?
High priority.
Say, look, we finna get some taxpayer money, and you know what we missing in this city? Forget the crime. Forget the hard, old, stale bagels. Forget the coffee. Forget the Irish parades. Bro, we need a task force on We need to get to the bottom of who gonna pay all of these black people this money they've been owed for all of these years. Let's put a group together. Let's take some taxpayer money and let's go on, what's the website, man, where people can find their families and their lineage and all that other stuff?
Ancestry.com.
Let's get a Boston Ancestry.com account. And dude, get out of here, man. First of all. Second of all, there's no way that any white churches in Boston, regardless of how many
they might
relatives, they not finna pay y'all. Are you kidding me? The budget for the state is $4 million for the year. Y'all want $15 million in reparations? Are you serious?
Yeah, $4 billion. So it's the amount is more than 3 times the annual budget in Boston, which was set at $4.28 billion for the fiscal year of 2024.
So you want white churches to pay it?
Do not eat while reading.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. Okay.
Hey, listen, you can have me start.
Who's going to do the homework to track the lineage of the people who descended from slaves, and who's going to do the homework to track the lineage of the people who owned slaves? Because that's incredibly difficult to solve.
Well, clearly they did. They did. They said there's like 120 to 130 members of a current church in the area were related to slave owners. Like, they've done the homework clearly, because they're a task force, and their main goal is to catch you. If you've been, just like you haven't paid taxes, if you've been evading the fact that you were related to slave owners, we're going to find you. They have a special set of skills. They will find you, and they're going to ask you to pay for reparations.
And you're going to pay. Find you, and you're going to pay.
I guess my question is, at what point does it become the role of the church to be on either side of this?
First of all, wrong is wrong. But, dog, this is old. This is old. 40 acres in the mule is not going to happen.
OLD? Are you saying
we
OLD?
could argue about it being old, but again, why sit around and ask 30, 40, 50 years later the bully who shook you down for your lunch money to pay you back with interest? It's not going to happen unless that person has an extreme encounter with the Lord, or aliens take him up on the ship and they probe his body and they do stuff that is not mentionable among men, and he comes back and he's like, oh my goodness, I got to treat everybody right. Dude, you're asking for something impossible to happen. I don't understand. Like, this is a very old conversation.
It's hard to approach. It's like that time we all woke up and Aunt Viv had been replaced with a different actress.
Bam. Who
It's
are
just
you?
like, and I'm just not supposed to say anything about it being weird. Okay, let me try this. If we do this, I mean, aside from whole turning the cheek, or you could take the biblical argument of fulfilling, making atonement. Is that the word I want? When you take from somebody and you done them wrong and then they're atoned. So you have full atonement, you have turning the other cheek and forgiveness. You could take either argument. It doesn't matter because they want to do this. So this is what they want to do. If we do this, what's we're gonna be like $1,000? You're gonna get $1,000, right? Let's just say $1,000 because it ain't gonna be nothing neat and clean.
I mean,
so you get $1,000. Is that going to
$15 billion, dude? I'm just saying.
You're not black, Eric. You're not gonna get $15 billion.
I'm
you don't want to pay $15 billion.
You know how much $1 billion is?
You think inflation is bad now? We're gonna give all of.
Come on, man.
Okay, is this gonna stop racism?
No.
Because if it is, like, I'm all for it.
Give you the money is gonna come take it from you another way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is this gonna solve the problem? Because I'm the kind of dad that, like, if the kids are fighting, I'll just spank all three of them, and then we'll have silence, and everything is over, and we don't have to talk about it no more. So, is this gonna solve racism? Is this the problem is this the solution to the problem that they want? Because they keep bringing it up. Seems like they really, really want the issue. If the white churches are dumb enough to pay it, I would say let them. Especially if we just going to never have to talk about this again, because this is so bad.
It's an awkward conversation, man. Like, so
they talked about.
But like I said, this is like having a conversation on a talk show without the talk show host, and the talk show host in this case is the federal government. You need some representation to actually legitimately have the conversation. Without that, it's not. It's basically the conversation is going to die in transit.
Well, my thing is that they talk about the unity of the church, right? How is this situation going to unify?
It's not.
People?
They're trying to guilt. And it's not, I mean, just blatant. Like, you got to call out white churches specifically because that's what they did and that's what the article does. You're trying to guilt individuals based on their skin color. And again, you don't know whether or not their relatives own slaves or not.
Right.
But you want to guilt them into. You effectively want to use witchcraft to get these folks to pay you money because they don't want bad press. Dude, do you understand? They don't care.
It's extortion.
There's no compelling argument. Do you understand how apathetic people are to the plight of individuals around them present day? Do you understand? Folks was dying from COVID, man, and people were still doing what they wanted to do. Don't nobody care. They don't care. So they're not going to go and, dog, we're not finna break open the church treasury and all the white churches in Boston gonna come together and we gonna stockpile $15 billion just to give it away.
If the church is going to be taking care of people, I want to see them taking care of the widows in the church that can't take care of themselves. And we have yet to see that. We ain't seeing churches do that. It's just like, I like to think of myself as a smart person, but I am legitimately unprepared for this conversation. I don't know how to approach it seriously. It's an unserious topic, and all I have is bland emotional retorts and jokes to give you. I am so sorry that I can't.
That's all it is.
I mean, here's the thing. On the spiritual side, because let's face it, a lot of us across the country, let's just keep it U.S., we worship. I mean, I know I do. I worship with white believers. I worship with Latino believers. I worship with, and even the previous home church I was at, worship. My pastor was an Italian, a white man. So my point is, it's when it comes to the spiritual coming together of the body of Christ, it is one word. And I thought about it today when I read the article. It's a distraction. It's a distraction for us to, when we go into prayer meeting, instead of going into prayer meeting and say, hey, man, good to see you, brother Eric. I dap him up and I give him a pound and let's pray. Forget about what your skin color is. Now I'm looking at him with the one eye. I wish the light was on, and saying, "Man, you kind of some of your people owe us reparations." I'm not focused on going into the right, into this prayer, onto the spiritual exercise with the right posture. Now I got my eye on this white believer and this Asian believer and this Latino believer. Like, okay, how much do you owe me? Instead of keeping my eye on what I'm supposed to keep my eye on, which is following the precepts of Jesus Christ.
I've had a lot of white believers like help my family out financially and stuff. I think we're kind of paid up on my end. I don't know how to approach this.
So speaking of what you just said, and following the example, I want to read this quote from the end of the article. This is from Danielle Williams. She's the director of social justice group Prophetic Resistance Boston. Spoke about the holy tradition of Jesus washing his disciples' feet and said, "Black people, the descendants of slavery, have been washing the feet of our oppressors for well over 400 years. Now it's time for you to wash our feet, the descendants of slavery. We want our reparations, and we want it now."
Okay, I see what's going on.
Prophetic. Second of all, it's not kingdom. So even to C's point, when we talk about, the scripture says that, in Christ and in the kingdom, there's neither Jew nor Greek, man, male, female, black, white. And we understand, guys, again, this does not mean that the kingdom of God is unisex. What it is saying is that the kingdom has a kingdom priority. There's one king who sits on one throne. And there is one Lord, one faith, one baptism. There's one. We all ascribe to the same thing. So we don't get to trump each other, pun intended. We don't get to pretend to be better than one another based on where we've come from, where we didn't come from, what we look like. Oh, that's a mixed melanin tone that he has. Oh no, that's very, very Caucasus mountain.
High yellow boy over there.
None of that matters anymore.
Right.
Light skin, red bone, yellow bone, black tar, baby, like none of those things matter anymore. It is Christ, period. And it's a heart matter for us now to want to, again, pull back out of that. And we saw a lot of that with the George Floyds and all that other stuff where individuals trumpeted skin and sin over sanctification, over the kingdom. And it's more important for me now to be a black man in this country with everything that's going on than it is for me to be a Christian. Well, guess what? Being black never got anybody's prayers answered. Jesus, God hears worshipers, not black people or white people. It's a heart matter. So for us to now want to sit and take the kingdom priority away and say, well, no, let's deduce this thing down to a skin color thing. And man, what you got on my 15 billion? I don't want to have to go to Eric House and be like, bro, what you got on my 15 billion, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't.
You're gonna get like $1. That's about all I got. I said I'll PayPal it to you $1.
So then that's what 14.99, 99.9999 left of the 15 billion.
Come up with some more
like,
dollars.
Where's the rest? You know what I mean?
The city of Boston doesn't have that money. So,
bro, come on, man.
Here's a breakdown of it, just so you guys know. So 16 religious leaders signed the letter, sent it to several churches in the area, called for churches to provide cash payments while also helping create affordable housing and back new financial institutions in Black Boston. The advocated $15 billion comes in 3 distinct types of payments. $5 billion of cash payments to Boston's Black residents, $5 billion to invest in new financial institutions, and $5 billion toward addressing the racial disparities in education and anti-crime measures. So
I think that I call on the people of Boston, especially the churches, to take note of everyone involved in pushing this agenda, and then all of the white churches that participate in it, and impeach those leaders, put them out of their positions, and continue on with your lives. This is sophistry, is what it is. That's all it is.
And it's not going to better the neighborhood. No. So now you're going to create a dynamic where we've given these people money, and not just from a strategy standpoint, like with the pandemic funds and stuff like that. Like we gave y'all money, but then we raised prices, and we're going to find a way to take that money back. So you're going to give it back to us. But now you are literally going to have other people. So now all of the white people who may or may not have owned slaves in Boston, we're going to put $5 billion on the street, and we're not going to create an issue and a dynamic where now these people who didn't get money are going to feel a certain type of way about the folks who did get money, who've done nothing to get that money. We already have a racist neighborhood. There's a spirit of racism in the area. That's not going to stir the pot. Come on, man. Let's just be realistic. There's no long game thinking in this situation. And so, to me, honestly, it's really quite laughable. But leave God out of this. Leave the white churches out of this. Leave white Jesus out of it. Just let it go. Let it go, y'all.
This is one of those things. Go ahead.
Oh no, finish your statement, Zero.
I'm just reiterating something I already said. It's hard to take seriously, because if I were to engage with it seriously, I'd be very aggressive, and there's no need for that. Like, I don't want to get worked up over this. It's just silly.
Well, let's see how you can engage with this man from the streets of Boston to the boys in the yard. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. Former President Donald Trump is now selling Bibles as he runs to return to the White House. A video released on his True Social platform urges supporters to buy the God Bless the USA Bible, which is inspired by country singer Lee Greenwood's patriotic ballad. The effort comes as Trump has faced a serious money crunch and amid mounting legal bills while he fights for criminal indictments along with a series of civil charges. There's some more we're going to talk about, but let's start here. So this is article from the.
Is he selling it out of his trunk like mixtapes?
Well, okay. A lot of things together here that aren't even connected is the problem, man. I'm not telling you that you need to like Donald Trump. That's not what I'm saying. But come on, man. Let's at least, if we're gonna report on it, here's what's funny is the article actually in the second half of it does lay out what's actually happening here, but it doesn't match up with what they've got in the headline. But billing itself as the only Bible endorsed by President Trump, the New Ventures website calls it easy to read with large print and a slim design that invites you to explore God's word anywhere, anytime. Besides a King James Version translation, it includes copies of the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as a handwritten chorus of the famous Greenwood song. The Bible's website states that the product is not political and has nothing to do with any political campaign. God Bless the USA Bible.com is not owned, managed, or controlled by Donald J. Trump, the Trump Organization, CIC Ventures LLC, or any of their respective principals or affiliates. God Bless the USA Bible uses Donald J. Trump's name, likeness, and image under paid license from CIC Ventures LLC. So there you go.
Guys,
so basically,
you forgot to mention the miniature Statue of Liberty that comes with it as well.
It comes with a Statue of Liberty.
I didn't know that one.
I mean, since he's throwing everything else in there,
I personally love the element of smoke that he has put together to lead people to believe that he cares about the spiritual posture and even the intellect of the people of the United States of America. Because I give him props. He puts not only does he give you a Bible, he puts in there, what does he put in there? The original Declaration of Independence,
the Pledge of Allegiance, the Constitution.
Right. Now, for me, this is just my personal, even if it's not totally his idea, the apprentice is going to always live through this man. No matter what happens, he's going to resort back to mobilizing teams, to engage in projects, to hustle, and to get bread. I don't see anything or discern anything spiritual about this exercise. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not about whether I like him or not. This is just strictly about the article itself. You can miss me with all this trash because it's strictly a hustle. Listen, the leader of one of my favorite groups of all time, the Cross Movement, John Wells, aka Tonic, said one quote that I like from one of his songs: "Watch the con." And I'm gonna tell you that right now when it comes to this, watch the con, because that's all it is as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna stop there.
Facts.
I agree, but I also don't think that Trump has given it a whole lot of thought any more than he gave the NFTs or the gold bars or all the other dumb stuff he's done. Like it works. Like he knows he's got hardcore supporters that are gonna, and it's like, hey, you get all the documents that Democrats don't want you to read in one book, and there you go. That'll be great.
Well, we're missing
Raise
the
money.
point that Trump's not selling this. They paid Trump to be a spokesman. Is what I mean. You don't watch a.
Well, that's what I'm
a
saying. Like, I don't think he's thinking about it very much.
You don't watch a Subway ad and think, oh, Patrick Mahomes is selling Subway sandwiches. No, they paid him to say I eat this stuff even though I don't.
No, but wouldn't how hilarious would it be if he had like Trump commentary throughout the entire Bible?
But, oh my goodness!
like the Schofield reference Bible, but it's Trump.
In 2 Corinthians, the Lord means here.
Scripture right here is too personal to me.
The wealth of the wicked, the love of money. No, it's not the root of all evil. Listen, y'all. Hey, man, it's a couple of points that are being missed in regards to this. First of all, it's an election year. Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, anybody else in the Subway commercial is not running for president. Okay, let's make that clear. Secondly, notice what the article says. Trump ain't fighting for his freedom. He's fighting for his reputation. Entirely different, because if somebody who is not Donald J. Trump did all of the stuff that he did and is being called to the carpet for what he is, that person will be fighting for their freedom. He's fighting for his reputation. Secondly, well, no, that was 2. Third, or C, the fact that this man, you have to know what you're doing when you vouch for a product. Trump is not a Christian. Let's just be 1,000%. So the fact that you're selling Bibles is almost blasphemous. At the end of you don't believe in nothing that's written in there.
To be fair, though,
that's a little extreme. It's more like an alignment thing. I mean, you got Trump saying, "Hey, I want you to read the Bible and throw some American stuff in there." You got the White House right now saying, "Please don't bring religious." They're saying, "Please don't bring religious iconography to the Easter egg hunt, and we'll just erase over Easter with Trans Day."
Strategy. So if we
So
talk
to say
about
the Bible is good is somehow evil.
No.
How
it's being used. It's how it's being used.
Right.
Just like we talked about this a while ago. The book of Eli, right? The Bible is great, but what did he want it for? He wanted it to manipulate the people. He wanted to control the people. It's just like what they do in Orthodox Catholic churches. You don't get to read the Bible for yourself. You got to go through the priest, and the priest reads the Bible and interprets what Scripture is saying for you. I'm going to tell you what to think about what God is saying. I'm going to tell you what God is saying. If you want to know, you're going to come to me.
It's definitely a marketing play. But it's not in the purest motive that we want. It's not for how we look at it as Christians. These are politicians making political moves. So he's saying you need to read this document.
But hey,
that's what I'm saying. That's what he said. He said you need to read the Bible, and you should probably, God bless the U.S. It's dumb. Yes, I get it. But I'm saying, like, this is what they're saying. The people that we want are the people who want Bibles. They don't know their audience very well, but they're not banning Jesus from Easter either. Like, look at what.
Right, but no. So it's very strategic in the fact that you have one side over here, the liberal party, who's willing to go so far as to the day we celebrate the resurrection and say, what in the world is a fan's visibility day anyway? What is that? Are they invisible all the other days of the week? I know. I'm trying not to get us banned.
Okay, but that was why I made the joke. You got the Bible. You got the Constitution, you got the Bill of Rights. These are all things that the left hates. They don't want people reading stuff like that. That's the whole point of the joke. He's aligning himself with these people.
I want to come back to that in just a second, but I mean, to be fair, I totally get what you're saying. It is he weighed the pros and cons or whatever, or maybe he didn't, but he saw a chance to get a bag, right? That's what he did.
Dog audio Bible, right?
That's
I'm not fully opposed to that idea, really. I mean, Morgan Freeman.
If we're gonna be fair though, Katie, I mean,
on the same track.
Trump has hawked a lot of stuff in his lifetime, long before he was president. I mean, he sold steaks.
Oh, that's what he does.
Yeah,
That's my point.
So,
That is my
I don't
point.
know if it's fair to say. I don't know
That's
if it's fair
my
to
point.
say he's only doing this because he's running for president.
No, bro, but look at the time and look at this. So
yeah.
timing is super important. And it's not just that, but it is the fact that even back to Zero's point, it stands solely. So the word of God in and of itself stands solely in opposition to a large amount of what the other party, and who also happens to be my opponent, stands for as well. So we're talking about abortion, we're talking about murders, we're talking about homosexuality, we're talking about all of these other things. The word of God by itself stands in opposition to those things.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
If I align myself with that, and not only that, but I'm going to add things that also say that I align myself with America. So what I'm trying to say is that I align myself with God, that God is in favor of America, and together we can make America great again for $59.99.
And that's
my personal signature.
And those are all good messages.
But
I don't think that Trump is a good Christian. I don't think that he even reads the Bible. But he's not applying to be master, pastor, or pope. He's trying to say, look, this looks like a battle between God and Satan, and I definitely don't want to be on Satan's side. Let me get over here with these people. I don't know a whole lot about the Bible, 2 Corinthians and all, but he's not banning, and he's not.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, man. That's the thing.
Wait. Hold on. To sell it, yes. To sell. How much is a study Bible? Come on, let's not play that game. Like we got all these pastors selling.
Now we're gonna talk about Trump giving you a discount, so it should be.
No, we got all these pastors selling Bibles for like
price isn't the
$70,
the price
$129.
The
Joyce
pay $100
Meyer
for
Bible.
really
you have a point. You actually have a point.
But here's the thing.
I can't even dispute that. Yeah.
Here's the thing that I thought about though is like, okay, everyone that is having a problem is immediately jumping to the problem of Donald Trump. Like, let's talk about the fact that it's called the God Bless the USA Bible. That is after a song that is not a Christian song.
Yes. Come
But
on.
Pandora has a study Bible. It's got all this retarded poetry in it. It has nothing to do with the Bible. It's just emotional crap. And we don't have episodes about those. Go to the family bookstore and throw a rock.
It's all a problem. The NIV, where they're taking out him and her and male and female to make it more unisex friendly. The Queen James version, it is all trash.
Way bigger offense.
No, but so is this though. Because it's the message behind it. I'm with God. God's with America. No, God is with the people who will worship him. God is with the church, the bride of Christ. God is with the saints of God. It does not just America, because God is with the saints wherever the saints are. It's not just America. And we have to make sure that we make that distinction, because again,
not exclusively America. Right? Like, I don't think that God.
We don't want to do that, because that's the message. I'm with God and God is with America. So let's put this Bible together. Otherwise, why?
Well, a lot of Christians like myself really do believe that the United States is exceptional in that respect, and that God has blessed America and God does have his hand on America. It doesn't mean it's exclusive, but when we assert that, then it turns into Christian nationalism, which has to be a bad thing for reasons.
I was just going to say that this is what. So all the folks who are complaining, and they use the wrong examples, and they really don't know. They want to nail and dump everything that says that we should serve God and we belong to God, and all the liberties that we get and everything that's good that we receive has come from God, and we should govern ourselves because the law of the land is based on the law of God. For all of those folks who don't understand really what they're saying, here is a perfect example. Trump comes on and say, "Hey, we about to sell these America Great Again Bibles. We gonna, man, let's do this. I believe that you need this. You need to read this. You need it for your heart. You need it for your soul. It is important. It is the most important book that I've never read in my life, but I want to make sure that you have one. I want to make sure that you purchase one. $59.99. I guarantee it. It is going to change your life. We want to make this country great again. We want to make it great again. We've got to make sure that we make it great again. Those folks over there on the left, they want you to do everything but make it great again. And so I believe God, and I believe that God was going to bless America. So help me make America great again. $59.99. You ought to have a Donald Trump Bible. There's not another Bible like it. I've I've signed it myself. I've included a miniature Statue of Liberty that you can hang around your neck, just like a Jesus piece. Get this $59.99 Donald
Dude, is
Trump
that blinged
Bible.
out?
It's going to bless you.
Wow. No, like, because if I ran that through AI, it would make it sound just like Trump, and then we could make that part of the clip.
Hey, shout out to Paul Towns, man. Like Paul's
for enduring our nonsense.
Paul Towns is hitting it on the head here, Katie. I figured this would be right up your alley with it being King James version.
And let me make this perfectly clear. Now, because listen, let me make this. I'm gonna make this. No, seriously, I'm gonna make this perfectly clear because somebody is joking. The brother Paul Towns, he joked about wanting a Snoop Dogg audio Bible, right?
I mean, he does.
You got 3 black guys on here and Mr. Eric Boston, right?
And me. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Right? No, and this is serious because some people are gonna be like, "Oh no, he's only ragging on Trump because he's white." Let me tell you something. I'm be straight up as a DJ. I'm not saying this because I'm perfect. I'm saying this because the posture of even a gospel rapper or an artist, the posture. I'm not talking about the our ability to be perfect. The posture of the vessel is of utter importance. If anybody knows me, I don't push no Snoop Dogg records in the Christian rap space. I do not push it because his stance is too inconsistent for me to take him seriously as a Christian rap or gospel artist. I can't take it. I can't take him seriously.
Yeah.
So if I can do that with Snoop, right?
I cannot do it. Come on, bro.
Why can't I question, in this case, the president of the United States on his spiritual disposition? Listen, I'm from New York City or the New York metro area. I've watched him, in my honest opinion, manipulate preachers to come and pray and be in prayerful posture just for him to get to the White House so he can carry out his agenda. And be honest with you, I'm seeing him do this all over again. And I'm saying this basically according to the article, with just hustling and just pushing this product. Am I going to say the Bible? Pushing this product for a buck. And we as believers are supposed to have a problem with that.
Facts.
That part I can agree with. That part I agree with 100%. I just don't want to minimize the part where I don't think anybody should be doing this.
Right.
I don't think theologians should be doing this. I don't think pastors and preachers should be doing. It's not Kanye? So much. Not even Kanye.
Not even Kanye.
Believe it or not, not even Kanye. No. I don't think it's an issue of the vessel, but I also don't think that we should be making arguments that don't work both ways when we talk about this. It's all or nothing with this particular issue. Because we got like Fannie Willis preaching about how people are racist against her in church, preaching. Then the pastor and say, "Come on in and preach about your case." And be like, we don't do episodes about stuff like that. This is so much in your face because we have a prominent personality who's like in terms of like American fame, you don't have a lot of figures that have the level of fame of the discussion we're having right now. This is like the Queen of England kind of stuff. But even he shouldn't be doing it. But it's not because of who he is. It's just it shouldn't be done. And that's really what I'm trying to get at the core. Like a lot of the reasons I feel like people have been bringing up about it is reasons to make jokes about Trump, which is fun to do, or reasons to push their political agenda, which is also fun to do. But they don't get to the core of nobody should be putting their name on a Bible and doing it like that.
I'm gonna tell you, should nobody put their name on the ministry?
Yeah. Actually, that's a red flag. If somebody's name on the ministry, I usually won't go.
I completely 1,000% agree with that. But I agree with C's stance and position as well. So like the lifestyle that's behind whatever we pushing, man, that matters. And that stuff I'm pretty sure has kept me ostracized from other circles within our space because I don't just agree with what you're doing because I'm listening to what you're saying and then I'm watching how you live. And it's like, first of all, what you're saying is not completely what you're, pretending that it is or selling it to be. What you're living shows and proves why what you're saying isn't what you're trying to sell it to be. Like, no, I'm not on board with that. I'm not going to high five you because you say that you're in this space. This is why my whole issue with the CHH space, because again, you can't put Christian and hip hop together. There's two separate things going on here with two separate guys involved. We cannot make this marriage work. and not see the things that we see as a result of it. And I catch a lot of flack for that argument. I'm not G. Craig Lewis, but there's certain things that are not redeemable. God didn't tell the Israelites when they went and he sent them to the promised land, hey, go in. I want y'all to make disciples of the Canaanites and the Hittites. I want you to go in there and I want you to witness to them and minister to them. And I'm going to redeem those cultures. No, he said, get rid of them. I don't want you to emulate how they're doing what they're doing because they're going to take your heart away from me. It's a problem. But it's what we do. We overlook things because we figure and feel as though God doesn't have a problem with it. So again, it matters. What you're doing matters. Who's doing it matters. What's going to be the outcome at the end of the day? To God, all of those things matter. So it's wrong to do it. It's wrong for you to do it. The prayer for us, though, because ultimately, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because, the sentence is not carried out expediently. It is fully in the hearts of man to do evil. Because Trump is not going to drop dead tomorrow. He's going to keep selling Bibles. You're going to keep seeing this video. Our prayer should be like it was with Paul. Paul said that one person preached Christ out of contention. The other person preached Christ, and he hopes to add chains to my bonds. He's trying to make a mockery out of this. But in one way or the other, people are able to come in contact with Jesus. So at the end of the day, we can't stop, per se, evil and wicked people from being evil and wicked. But if you're going to try to peddle Jesus, somehow, some way, we want God to flip that and turn that around for his glory so that people get access to Jesus. Because at the end of the day, it ain't about putting your name on the Bible. You should fear God more than to do something as foolish and then add all of these other documents. Again, God ain't in favor of these things if they're not scripture, if they don't line up with scripture, if they're not congruent. But at the end of the day, our prayers should be, man, okay, well, if this is what you bold enough and brash enough to do, and you're going to fly in the face of God like that, let God be glorified. Let somebody actually have an encounter with the Lord by reading this bootleg Bible.
And that's the approach that I'm trying to take. Is like he's pointing people to the Bible. Now, again, as the guy who's been defending Trump, and we had to fill 45 minutes somehow. So there we go. You guys are welcome. He shouldn't. Okay, like if he got up and he was like, America should be reading Bible and you should read the Constitution and if he did that, I wouldn't have a problem. It's the packaging and making it a product that I and a lot of other people have a problem with. I just feel the need to deflect, like somebody's trying to sell the Bible. Maybe they're doing it in the dumbest way possible. Like they don't know, or maybe they do know and they're being rebellious, which is a little bit worse. There's still a part of that, at least in my heart, that says, well, at least the gospel is being preached somehow. At least they're saying, Bible good, take this. Hey, you, Bible good, take this Bible. Like, it might be kind of retarded the way he's doing it. And that's my whole position, especially looking at the competition. Like, because when it comes to the gospel, I'm like, if somebody's not a perfect vessel, if somebody's even a bad vessel, it can hurt the gospel, or it can hurt the message that we're trying to push. Like, look at the sincerity of that person. Look at what that person's trying to be. Like, I think there's a reason Jesus didn't want the demons telling people that he was the son of God when he was walking on the earth. Like every time, oh, you're the son of God. He's like, shut up. You don't want them giving the testimony.
The wrong attention.
Yeah. So I get that. I kind of forgot where I was going with it.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's all right.
Come back to this because I was just about to ask. I wonder if we have any numbers on how this version, if you want to call it that, of the Bible has done since it's been released.
We need to get the interns on that.
I did as we do. Let's get those hamsters cracking.
Turns. Hey, you know what I do want, KD? You know what audio Bible I want? I want the Bone Thugs and Harmony audio Bible. Imagine those melodies.
Finna go to heaven. Finna go to heaven.
Too fast. You gotta slow it down.
And this is one. I'm reading now.
I remember what I was gonna say. I remember where I was taking it.
You should say
it's when the political atmosphere is so demonic, and it's like they don't even want Jesus at his own Easter party.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have an Easter egg hunt, but get them crosses out of here. Like that offends me more. And so it's like
you don't need to have an Easter egg hunt.
Be offended by all of it, though. That's what I'm saying, though. So here's though what speaks to where we ought to be as the saints of God and as the body of Christ, because we'll take that stance. We'll be, and I'm not saying that is wrong. Generally speaking, we'll take that stance. We'll say, "Oh, well, that's not so bad. Oh my goodness, this is egregious. Oh my goodness," you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we need to consistently be upset and concerned. Again, God, break our hearts with the things that break your heart, because all of it bothers God. All of it angers God. All of it God has a problem with. Not just the small things, because a little leaven leavens the entire lump. It's also the big things. The big things started out small and they went unchecked. So we have arrived at these points and at these places where we have Pan's Visibility Day on the same day that we celebrate the resurrection, because we allow little things to go unchecked. God has a problem with all of it. Our level of consistency, of disdain that we need to have for the things that the world continues to push and pedal down our throats, needs to be the same, regardless if it involves somebody that we know or somebody that we don't, whether it's a member of our family or it is a member of something that we ascribe to or desire to want to be a part of. Our level of consistency ought to be the same. This is what it means to earnestly contend for the faith that was once delivered unto us, as it states in Jude 1 and 3. That is our responsibility, not to pick and choose. The war is happening, whether you decide to take up arms and fight or not. If you don't, though, you're going to end up a casualty. There is no middle ground. It is either Team Jesus or it is Team Satan. There is no in between. You can't pick and choose depending on how you feel, what day it is, what color, how you feel, pretty or beautiful or like a butterfly. It doesn't matter how you feel when you wake up in the morning. It is Team Jesus and it is Team Satan. There is no in between. So our level of disdain, frustration, disappointment, it's not just, oh, well, you should expect sinners to sin. That's what they do. But you should expect the saints to say something. This is our job.
Yeah.
This is our responsibility. We are the body of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Well, we got one more segment to get to before we do.
We have another segment?
Shout out to our sponsor, Zero. Talk to us about the last day.
The Last Day comic book. Sorry, hang on. Okay, start over. The LastDayComic.com comic that I'm working on. It's based on an audio drama that I wrote in 2014 about the last city and the last people on Earth before the ends of the Earth. It's a cool story. We're working on artwork. You can see some of the sample artwork on the screen. If you go to the website, you can sign up for the email, and I'll have more pages coming out very soon. And this is a long labor of love. So if you want to support the artwork that I'm doing, thelastdaycomic.com. It's going to be a great story. You can even get a good chunk of it through the audio drama that's already available on that same website.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Go check that out. We got one more segment, though. Let me get this prepared here. So a couple weeks ago, Bryson Gray was hanging out with us as a special guest co-host, and he made kind of a special announcement that he was dropping a movie related to his new album called Bryson the Demon Slayer, and he dropped it. So we said, hey, he sent it to us early to kind of check out. We said, hey, we'll make sure to talk about it once it's out. So it's out. We want to play a little clip and give you just some of our thoughts regarding the movie itself. Man, we're not going to go into like a deep dive, but give you just some of our initial thoughts here. So let me get this pulled up here, and here we go.
Bryson, you think you've overcome, but the war has
So right off the
just
bat,
begun.
I think that's Tyson James, but I'm not sure.
How much more can you stand to lose when all is lost? But if a battle is what you want,
Shovel, he's white and I'm black, he plays E4. He hasn't revealed his attack. As I play play the Karokan. His children tries to distract with all the six and all the sin they push on all of these apps. But before I lapse, I have my next move, my best before I fall off the track. He goes D4, then they dance, my chance to get back. Only fans bottles me to just chill and relax. A bottle of vodka appears, I used to sip that. I push the C-pond again, I cannot fall for your trap. Saying the bitch to pit me in check, I've been waiting on that. Saying the night protects the king, and you can't get me back. Saying,
yeah, man, we'll stop it there. So,
bro,
what you guys
I
think?
really liked on that song how he was hang on, what happened to my volume? There we go. I really liked on that song how he was using chess strategy in the lyrics, like all throughout the song. That was really, really impressive.
The chess scheme was really cool, especially for someone that plays chess and opening with the Karo Khan and all that. The thing
That's
that
what I
was
was going to
funny
ask,
about,
like, how was that real?
yeah, for sure. That's an opening. That's the black opening. But here's what's funny is he made that he's got that line where he's like, he's white and I'm black, and so many people were going off in the comments about that, like, oh, why is he gonna make this about a race? Like, dude, there's white pieces and there's black pieces in a chess game. That's just how it works, man.
And then, you know, Bryson's black and the guy that plays the devil is white. So
you know, just like, hello.
Illuminati confirmed. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Nah, hey, Bryson, man, like, so this project is actually pretty dope. Once we get him on, man, and we kind of break it down a little bit, maybe do something else. But there's a lot about it that I like. I'm not usually big into, like, I hate musicals, first of all. I think they're extremely corny. But I think what Bryson did is very well put together. I mean, like, this is authentic. And when we had him on a couple of weeks ago, he talked about this being all out of pocket. So he funded this thing entirely, you know, himself. But everything in this is legit. There's no B-movie type stuff here. And I give him a lot of credit for that. The fight scenes, the choreography is dope. The makeup is dope. And the sounds are fitting. The scenes are fitting. Like, it all makes a lot of sense. There's small details about this that I really like that I think, again, were very well done. So shout out to Bryson and his team, man. I think they put something really dope together.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, shout out to Seventh from Madden. You know, love you, bro. But, hey, you got to get on the show soon, dude, for real. But the thing so what Bryson did was he put together a concept album and then put a visual around the entire thing, right? Instead of, now he's breaking it up now into individual music videos, but that's the thing he did. He put a cohesive concept project together. And there's been a lot of people that have put out concept albums, but none of the songs really connected. They put in like little, you know, skits and stuff to try to connect them. He, for the most part, I think he did a good job at telling the story from start to finish.
Yeah, usually when people say they're doing a concept album, what they mean is they did LSD.
A lot of them are bad. A lot of them are
But
bad.
this one, it strings together. It tells a whole story.
Well,
actually, my favorite one was the Dear Slim kind of song.
That was cold, actually.
He was so vulnerable.
Gotta give him
one.
props for that. He was. I loved it. It is very authentic. It's very conversational. The whole build up to that joint is dope. The back and forth, the interaction, the scenes. Like, this is very smartly put together. It's very smartly. I even like the small the script, the font script on the screens. So, like, where the interaction and the dialogue is inaudible, but you see the font on the screen with the wording. Like, to me, that was dope.
That was a good choice.
Being as small as it was, but like, that was super smart. It's just the details, man. And Bryson edited this thing himself, man. So, hey, shout out, bro. Job well done, man.
Hopefully they'll let you get it on Tubi. I think there's probably some kind of way to do that.
Definitely be on
Tubi.
Tubi.
Or Redeemed TV would probably be open to hosting that.
Pure Flicks, somebody like that, even though they might not, it might be too aggressive for them, but still.
Man, them people need something a little bit aggressive.
Here's why I really, we talked about the chess game, and I like how it sets it up and opens it up for the rest of the story. Because what's interesting about it to me, if you watch it, is like, he, in that chess scheme, he just talks about the opening, and then he gets up and walks away. So he's almost like he's like, no, okay, this is where we're starting, but now I'm going into this middle game where we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
leaves the table. And then you get to see the whole story play out. You get to see him dressed up in his Blade Halloween costume, which is cool. Bryson, it's all love, man. Don't get mad. You know, but
it's very reminiscent to how I used to dress when I perform, so I ain't even gonna clown on him.
It was
theatrical as
funny
well.
because our guy Big Swiss was like, "Yo, is Bryson dressing up like Blade or like Morpheus?" And it's like, for real? Come on, Swiss, you know better than that.
Yeah, I was a little offended by that. Morpheus is my dog. You know that Blade was like. Never mind. Go ahead. Just continue.
C's been quiet. C, you got any thoughts?
I like the. I mean, I honestly didn't get a chance to peep this whole thing, but just the beginning of it is pretty it's pretty intriguing. I definitely want to watch the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to check it out. Yeah,
There's some parts where he definitely gets into like how he, it's the same song I was talking about. How he made a lot of fans on the MAGA movement, and how it turned out that they were all fake and they weren't really for Christ, and how he felt about that. And it was like to be able to go into your own history and defend your convictions like that. I really appreciate that because people generally just take a just because I said so approach to their convictions, and that's not always good enough. But when you can look at what you've done and say, well, I think I was wrong, and here's why I was wrong, and even though it's not popular, you guys are wrong, and I'm going to stand in my convictions. Like that's a lot. That is a lot going on in that album.
Probably the same Christians that are buying the God Bless the USA Bible. So.
Bro. They're probably more likely to like watch Joyce Meyer on Sunday. Let her.
Oh,
preach.
here we go. Here we
doing
go. Man, name slapping. Wow. Woo!
I was waiting on the Angels from Africa to slide through.
Oh my God.
Hey, for the CHH world, you know, I mean, I know Bryson labels himself as a Bible rapper, not necessarily a Christian rapper or CHH, but there are some names that you guys are going to be familiar with, man. I mean, you'll see Kid Lee in the movie.
Yeah.
You'll see Mike Teasy.
Kieran the Light.
ASAP.
Oh my God.
ASAP Preach is in there.
Was he in there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which character was I? I just literally just got done watching that before I came on the stream, and I didn't even recognize him.
He's the one that's driving the
doing that. Yeah. Where he picks him up. Yeah.
And I will say that
was
you know,
Tyson.
the fact
Tyson's
that
earlier. Tyson's earlier.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. I was kind of like halfway paying attention at one point. Sorry, C.
No, I just want to quickly say that the fact that you you mentioned Kid Lee, I'm just really admiring the new bloods of female Christian rap. They are really doing a lot of damage. You know, like Kid Lee, like Toya Love, like Portia Love. Man, let me tell you. I'm just gonna say it to the audience right now. If you haven't heard of some of these new blood females in Christian hip hop, you need to start paying attention because they bringing it, and I love it. I love it. I just wanted to shout them out.
Oh man, yo. Guess who just sent me a message?
So I just hit you, bro. I'm like,
let me look at this.
Hold on, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Send me a link. I want to see this.
See what?
Oh my God, what's going on here? What is going on here, guys? Misbehaving.
Bryson just sent a message.
So
his ears must have been itching. We over here singing his praises.
They had to be itching, burning.
And as Eric said earlier, man, we got a special announcement coming this Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Should I say Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's your man, Eric Boston and crew. Gonna be right here on this same platform. Come join us. Yeah.
Love that energy, bro.
We're gonna give it a second, guys, because Bryson may be hopping in here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I think even if it's
some jokes to roast Bryson in the chat,
right?
Being so late.
But like, even if it's not your particular taste in music, right? I mean, I think especially if you're an artist,
not like rap to not like that.
Well, but I'm saying like there's still a lot to like kind of learn and glean from something like this, I think.
Yeah.
It's wide ranging, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So first of
there's a lot of, and it's all modern and
cinematic value. Yeah. So it's a clean picture. Again, it's not VHS. It doesn't look like he made it in the backyard.
Oh wow.
Except for that album cover.
Well, we're not gonna talk about that.
Wow.
Sonically,
Well, I'm pretty sure
it's a wide ranging product. You know what I'm saying? Like soundscape wise, he covers a lot, man. And again, it all makes sense. Like there's nothing that even the obligatory church, video scene song, the Teasy record, you don't mind it as much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a great way to kind of end the movie, man. Like it's just really well done. Like it takes a lot of creativity, it takes a lot of discipline and commitment to the vision to walk something like this through from beginning to end.
Where do you see something like this? Like, what's its place in the current landscape of Christian culture?
I think it's a trend.
Sets a bar because music videos are kind of dead anyway. So if you're going to aspire to something, this is probably the new bar.
Got to take the next step. You got to do the new thing. You got to do the next thing. You can't do the old thing or what everybody else has been doing.
I know I couldn't do it. Like that's expensive. It requires a lot of people. That's out of my reach, which is why I'm making a comic book instead. But we got to start aspiring for something greater in the Christian world.
Well, I know we kind of talked about Christian rappers killing demons. I mean, we got to talk about that a little bit, right?
Whether or not they were demons or people in the first part of the movie, because I was like, did he just shoot that guy in the face?
He did, in the head.
Walk it off like it was no problem.
Like, come on, man. Hey, like Bryson is cold-blooded.
But I guess they're demons.
We talk about knife fights and everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the devil sends those guys out after him.
Well, I'm saying I didn't realize they were demons until like halfway through the movie. Because it was like very first fight scene, he just like stabs this dude in the heart. And I was like, oh, that's kind of grim.
It didn't look cheesy. It didn't look like ketchup splattered on a shirt. Like
you know what, man? You got jokes. You got jokes, KB. Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
really good job, yo.
Yeah. So he said he's getting ready to hop on. So maybe we'll have a bonus part to the show tonight. But yeah, like Mr. C said, we do have a special announcement coming up this Friday night in regards to 520 Radio. You can listen to 520 Radio at FiveTwentyCollective.com. Also, if you download the His Hop Radio app, you'll be able to listen to it on there. It's 24/7 indie Christian.
Yo, shout out.
Yeah, man. And like we said before, guys, make sure that you're subscribed to our Substack newsletter. That's where you get everything sent directly to your inbox. You go to 520collective.com/Substack. Can't talk like them boys in Bone Thugs, man. I get tripped up.
You gotta live everybody. And gotta live everybody.
Here's what's interesting, man. So, like, I don't know if you guys ever heard it, but like they put out an album called Unifive. And on that album, Crazy Bone talks about Crossroads. And he's like, yo, I guess I was wrong about that whole thing, basically, is what he was saying. I thought that was very interesting. It's like he had spent some time in his word and studying. And he's like, yo, I was off base, even though that was like our biggest song ever.
And that's my hope for everybody who's got at least an alignment and open to the ideas. Is like maybe they'll get there one day. That's really what like grieves my heart about when we have these doctrinal arguments where it's like, Pentecostal versus Baptist versus Lutheran versus Catholic, and it's like we just arguing over doctrine or teachings. Sometimes people are straight heretics and you just got to call it what it is. But that's not usually the case. Usually it's just you don't believe like me, therefore you're not even a Christian. And if we spend more time praying for people, how many people will we be able to see come to Christ in a manner that actually means something?
Facts.
I was just going to quickly say as followers of Christ, we want to evangelize the gospel, some more than others, whatever. Hey, invite, and what I mean by that is, hey, invite somebody to church. You want somebody to come to church and visit with you on any given Sunday, right? Well, the rhetorical question would be, for all of us, how many times would we say, okay, my friend's a Presbyterian. Let me go sit down and find out what's going on in the Presbyterian church. You know what? My friend is a Free Will Baptist. Maybe one Sunday. A lot of times we don't do that, and sometimes even if you don't agree theologically with what's going on in that given movement, I think it's a huge blessing when we do it from time to time. Like, years ago, I went with a friend of mine. We drove from like the Bay Area down to LA because we were interns and we went to go visit some people, and their whole family, including him, was a 7-day Adventist. And they have their Sabbath is a Saturday. It was an enriching experience for me because I was able to sit in and learn about how they worship and how they believe. Even though I don't believe it, at least it was a great experience for me to do it. And I'm never going to be close to doing that, in my lifetime going forward, because you can always learn something from somebody else's belief system other than yours.
Yeah, man. Speaking of Bryson,
there he
What's up,
is,
Bryson?
Demon Slayer himself.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I came in at the right time, didn't I?
Man, we played a little clip. We played a little bit of the opening of the movie. Talked about it a little bit. We were saying as like, chess players, right? Me, Katie, Zero doesn't play chess because
I got better things to do. Y'all go on with that.
I mean, it's the sport. It's the sport of kings. Zero.
So if you play chess, that means you understood the lyrics.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and here's what I said about it. I love the opening because I think what I was explaining to them was like, you in your scheme and in that verse, you're playing the opening game.
Yep.
And then you get up from the table and like, okay, now we're going to battle, and you walk away. It's like, okay, now we're going into the middle game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, bring your Carl Khan. I mean, I play that every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely Carl Khan. I mean, the chess match in the song actually ended towards the end of the middle game, sort of heading into the end game. And of course it was like that on purpose. It took me so long to make that song because I created the chess match. It's a real chess match that I make sure the moves is right. Because I wanted to end to where I'm technically in the lead by a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? The devil could come back at any moment. All I gotta do is make one wrong move. So all of that was definitely planned out, man. But first off, I want to say I apologize for being super duper late, bro.
We thought you was April fooling us, bro. So
that's we're like, Bryson says, I'm gonna come on the show. April Fools.
Nah, bro. So I just got home from Washington like late last night, and I had just forgot. What's the funniest thing is I was literally at Costco, and then I was like, I thought I should be doing something right now. And then I got on Twitter and I saw your DM. I said, "Oh no!" So I told my wife, I gotta run home. So I was close to the house. I ran home, gave her my card, and said, "You got to finish grocery shopping." I felt so bad.
I like that story better. I told Eric, I was like, "Well, he just got married. Maybe he having like his first fight, and if it's gonna happen, it'll be 10 minutes before showtime."
Zero's rooting against you out here, Bryson.
Nah. I ain't even, oh man, I wouldn't even left the house. I literally rushed home so quick, bro. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I hope they still on. I told Shekinah, I was like, if they not still on, I'm gonna feel so bad, bro.
We was waiting for it.
So we were talking about the fact that this is a concept album, man. Like, what made you want to do a concept project? Because we were talking about how a lot of artists have done concept albums, and they typically, a lot of them will fall flat, right? So what made you want to tackle that?
Honestly, I remember I was talking to Big Swiss about this when he came to Nashville, and I was like, a lot of people when they make these concept style albums, they always stuck in the middle, like you never hear them overcome. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's always, I'm still in sin, I'm struggling, and then you 12 songs in, I'm like, wait, you still struggling every day? Goodness gracious! Didn't you have that same sin in the beginning of the album? So, musically, I didn't have the idea to do the concept album until like I made about 6-7 of the songs, because I was like, yo, this sort of sounds like a story. And so I wanted to do a concept album, but with all of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have the beginning, you have the struggle, But then you have the overcoming moment also. And that's why at the end of the film, you know, typically the film would end after I kill Satan in most films, but the latter of the film is like full of it's a celebratory message. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, through Jesus, anything is possible. So you overcome, and then like the party's over song was like, okay, they're trying to come back, but then the last song show you that I mean, like, you can't save everybody. That's why it's a narrow path. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you're supposed to do your job as a Christian, you know, live your life that way, like Christ, warn people, and the people that you do, that the message do get to, that's makes it all worth it. And that was the film has so many little hidden messages in it and stuff, but yeah, man, that was the point of it.
So who played the devil?
This guy named Yuri. There's like an actual site called Backstage. You can hire people. And I knew I wanted somebody with long hair or a red beard. That's what I wanted.
I thought that was Tyson at first, and I was like, he wouldn't dye his beard for this, would he?
No. It wasn't Tyson. I actually hired somebody because I'm in Nashville. I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of like friends. I could just say, hey, come be in the movie. And plus, I had a vision anyway. So I wanted a red beard or long hair. I had somebody with long hair at first. He canceled because he said he caught COVID. And I was like, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that red beard is the one. And I found it was one person with a red beard too. One dude. And I wanted him to be like 6'6", but he was like my height, but it was whatever.
No, that's cool. That's a good strategy for getting actors.
I got to ask you this question, man, because we didn't talk about it at all, because I was like, well, Bryson's not here, so I can't mention it because I won't get an answer to it. But like, what's up with that mannequin in the corner, dude?
It's a lot of places too.
Yeah, so I wanted it to look like creepy and weird. I wanted this because, you know, Satan is usually like super evil, and this Satan was evil too, but I wanted sort of a unique spin on him. So I was thinking like of an eccentric villain, but Satan. You know what I'm saying? So we actually saw that mannequin on a set, and I was like, bro, dance with the mannequin, bro. Let's put the mannequin on there. That'd be so weird. And so,
It was weird.
And
my daughter walked in the room while he was dancing with the mannequin. I was like, no, I don't know where this is going. Get out of here.
In the words of Zero, I was like, oh, that's Satan's holy booty right there. That's what that is.
I wasn't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do nothing too weird.
I had to throw that out there, Zero.
Yeah. I told the devil dude, I said, just do something with the mannequin. The dude couldn't dance like that. So I said, you ain't got to dance for real. Just like vibe out a little bit. We had a scene where he tried to dance for real. And I was like, nah, cuz we can't go like that. Just do weird. Just look weird, bro. I told him, just look weird, bro. I told him, there's going to be a straight shot. No cuts. Because, you know, when it's a straight shot, it's weird like that. There's a few cuts in it. But I said, bro, just do weird stuff. Like, you know. And he did it, though. It was funny.
Bro, what was your first feel like? How did you feel when you watched like the finish? Like just being able to see it from start to finish, see the vision, see all the hard work pay off. Like forget releasing it to the people, because a lot of times that first feeling for us as artists when we've completed something, being able to listen through to it from start to finish, to see it from. How did you feel when you watched everything from start to finish?
Bro, happy as you could think of feeling, because I edited it. The film myself, I edited the whole thing. I did not color grade it though, so like I had a waiting moment. I was waiting for that color grade to come back, and literally 4 days before I released it is when I got it back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it took longer than I expected, because you want to perfect it, and then sometimes you can over perfect it. But when I had watched it back, I got that color grade back, bro, and I had watched it back. I said, "Hey, yo, I think we done really did something," because the whole goal was like. Typical visual albums, it's more focused on music and not really a story. It is no like movie-esque things in it. I was like, nah, I want my joint to feel just as much like a film as it is an album. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like a storyline on action scenes. I wanted all this, you know what I'm saying? And when I saw it, you got to think about it, bro. I was spending 12 hours per day editing, sitting in this exact chair, 10 to 12 hours per day. I paid every actor. Everything came out of my pocket. Unfortunately, I'm actually doing a video telling people how much I spent on it, because my goodness. And to see it at the end, bro, was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? and I got it released. I said, man, I hope people rock with this because I put a lot of work into it.
Man, Bryson, just move out there to Boston, man, and get yourself a bag, dude.
Yeah, the white church has got something waiting for you, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was funny as somebody halfway through it, I had somebody who was willing to invest, but I was like, man, I already spent most of it anyway. I might as well spend the rest of it because ain't nobody about to come in acting like they, you know what I'm saying? I was already like 10K in. I was like, man, no. I was already sad about that. I was like, I might as well make myself more sad.
Hello, Dustin. Hello, Dustin. What this is about, we're talking about Bryson the Demon Killer, the new movie, an album by Bryson Gray, hanging out with us. So that's what it's about, man.
Is that Dustin, my brother-in-law?
I don't know.
Dustin?
Is it? Could be.
Let me know.
So, hey, Big Swiss was asking the question, were you trying to be Morpheus or Blade? And I was like, yo, that's clearly
both.
Blade's forgotten.
Oh, he said
both?
No, he said both.
It's both. Actually, it was Matrix first. But when I was walking down the street with the outfit on, and somebody I knew rode past and said he looked like Blade. And I was like, oh, let me make it more Blade too. So I got the black shades, but then I realized black shades wasn't Matrix 2. So it's like, it's really the same outfit, but I'm black with an afro. So clearly it's more Blade-esque, but originally it was inspired. So many different films and movies and things like bits and pieces of everything was inside of this, bro.
I said, because I got to ask, because I mean, another conversation that I've seen a lot of is people talking about the album cover as well. And I mean, that's a throwback to Buffy
the Vampire Slayer.
So I was like, oh, it's like some people were like, yo, did he spend all his money on the film and cheap out on it? I'm like, no, that's very intentional.
Very intentional. It was meant to look retro. Like he was looking at something in the early 2000s. It was typically young kids like, what kind of album cover is this? I said, man, y'all just don't understand, man.
Didn't you had like a whole era where you did that? You took like album covers and movie posters, and you do like the video with the whole
I did a music video. So as you know, Dan, I love film. I'm a film head. So I did a whole music video before where I basically recreated scenes from other movies, but like in a picture form. And the music video is called Controlled, and I was loving people guessing where I got it from. Some of it was album covers just mixed up. So everything I did with this album was intentional. I had the album covered. The album cover had been done for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Already knew I wanted it to I tried to make it slightly different, but then when I saw it again later, I was like, nah, I don't look exactly like that Buffy. They could probably sue me for that. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, you should went on Cameo and got Sarah Michelle Gellar on there, man.
Oh, you like shouting it out or something? Yeah, that. I mean, she probably a liberal though. She probably hate me.
I say, Bryson, have you bought your God Bless the USA Bible yet?
I'm not buying that. What the like Trump tweaking, bro. Like, bro, Trump tweaking, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what? I try not to go in on him. Every time I go in on him, people be like, you turn into a never Trumper. No, but my man's keep doing the dumbest things though. My man dropped the Bible knowing he doing it. Wasn't like $50. My man dropped the Bible knowing he was doing it just to get his campaign funds up. He tried to put the Constitution and the Bill of Rights in it to super pander to conservatives. Using the Bible in that way is so disrespectful to me, bro. Like it was so disrespectful to me. But even on Twitter, I ain't even went that hard on it. I was like, man, this boy crazy, and people don't care. I saw some Christians hyping it up. I'm like, boy, no.
I made the joke that he was trying to do a collection of documents that the left don't want you to have.
I mean, my thing is, bro, Trump, I know what he's doing. He's not getting campaign funds up.
Marketing.
Hey, he dropped his $175 million today, FYI.
Oh,
he paid that?
He did. $59.99. You too can have one of these signature Bibles. All your
it's $60.
$60 Bible, but it's the best Bible you'll ever have.
Oh yeah, look out for that KD Trump impression because he went on for a while. I'm gonna run it through the filter.
$60?
$60, bro.
Y'all know how disrespectful that is, bro. Come on, can we keep it 100 out here, man?
Dustin,
Like,
we're gonna
see-
have to get you to calm down in the chat, bro.
But hey, you could spend $60 on, a
Anything
Bible from Trump, or you could go watch.
You can send it to my comic book campaign.
Well, you could go watch Bryson the Demon Slayer for free, right? Where all the people check it out at?
Free. It's on YouTube. It was supposed to be on Amazon, but clearly I tried to submit it way too late. My mother said, Bryson, just wait and release the album. I said, nope. I'm releasing it right now. I wanted to release it right now. So, so it's for free. And I probably spent, I think I was trying to do the math the other day, probably like $16,000, $17,000 of my own hard money, and I'm broke now. But yeah, and release it for free, by the way, on my YouTube channel. You might have to see a few ads, and it's on Twitter, probably with no ads.
That's faith, though, bro.
Oh
like,
yeah, Matthew
it's
6:33.
definitely gonna come back. Yes, sir. All day, every day, man.
Yes, sir.
Luke 6:38.
You can still get on Amazon later, can't you?
Yeah, I heard they take a while to approve it, but I mean, it's still submitted. I checked it earlier. It's just like
I was saying, like Redeem TV or Tubi. There's some Christian platforms out there.
You're only watching Tubi, so can we get it on Tubi for $0?
Tubi. I was trying to get it on Tubi. I think you got to submit it through one of these like film hubs, something like that, like some of these distributors. But I think they charge you like an arm and a leg.
Film Hub is like a scam. Yeah, Film Hub is a scam, but there's some Christian platforms.
Yeah, super scam. But I walk by faith, bro. I feel like, I mean, already, bro. It's just the response I've gotten from. I've had people. One of my friends called me, didn't even know he watched the film. You know what I'm saying? He called me about something I'm not even that harsh about. He said, "Bro, I just want to let you know, bro. I just threw my cigars away." I said, "What you talking about, bro?"
Praise God.
I said, "What you talking about, bro?" He said, "I just watched that movie, bro, and I don't know, bro." He said, "That movie just did something to me, bro. I threw my cigars away." I had so many people come to me and say stuff like that, and I'm like, "That's worth it. Watch it for free, everybody. YouTube, just watch it."
Bro, that's the way to get the gospel out, man. We just really. We really talked about how well put together it was, bro. Like you did amazing job. It's not corny at all. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the temptation, some people who aren't able to pull this off will cut corners. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of drop anything because, it's not what everybody else doing. Yeah, but you did it poorly. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is well done, bro. It's cinematic. All the shots are clean. Everything makes sense. The storyline, the plot, the characters, the interaction, the dialogue. I even talked about the dialogue on screen, bro. How smart that was with the fonts when, the dialogue was inaudible. Like, it made sense to me. Just a small minor detail. The fight scenes, off the chain, bro. You out here, shots to the dome. Like, man, Bryson, like, hold on, bro. Don't do them like that. Like, it was off the chain, bro. And then we talked about the whole, the Eminem type joint, man, where you back and forth with the fan, bro, and just the level of vulnerability that you displayed on that record is just, bro, just very, very, very well done, bro.
Thank you so much, bro. You caught. I like how you caught the small details, man. The fighting scenes. I hired 2 different fight choreographers, bro, because like with me, like I said, I'm confident in some things, but I'm not silly. So like, I'm hiring people. If I know somebody, like, if this is what you do for a living, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather you do it. I hired 2 different fight choreographers, bro. And then one of them, bro, he had the fight drawn out. I'm like, bro, so people really do this stuff for like a living.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't cut 0 corners. I wanted to. I ain't gonna cap because when that money start adding up, you'd be like, but then in my mind, I can't release nothing corny, bro. Nothing. It got to be like legit. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't cut. Everybody I paid was a professional. Is what they do for a living. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. I even bought the camera for it. I bought the Sony FX3. I don't know if y'all know about the movie called The Creator with
yes, the little robot baby or the little robot girl.
Yeah, the robot baby thing. So like I watched the movie like 5 times because I realized they shot it with a Sony FX3, and Sony FX3 is like it's expensive, but it's not expensive for a movie. It's like very, very dirt cheap for a movie. And I said that's what I'm buying because I had a red camera, but it's so heavy. I couldn't pull off what I did with that movie. I couldn't pull it off with a red. It's just too heavy. It's too much to go with it. You need somebody to pull focus. You need a lot. The Sony FX3 though, You get you a nice gimbal, and the shots look good, the lighting look good. It'd be fire. So I bought that and said, I'm shooting a movie. I don't care what nobody say. That's what I said.
What's up, man?
Well, we appreciate that you came on, a few weeks ago and kind of gave us the inside scoop on what was happening, and the chance to kind of peep the movie, right before it officially dropped. So, thanks for doing all that, man.
Of course, I got some questions for y'all though. Can I?
Yeah.
I just thought about it on top of my head. I was watching on YouTube, and typically I don't like saying people's names unless they, ask for it. But I was watching and I could have misheard it. I was watching John Keith. He has a song where he says the N-word in it, and I was like, then I read the comments to see if anybody like said something. And everybody was like, "Oh, this is fire! This is hard." I'm like, it do hit different when So I was like, maybe y'all tweaking though. Maybe I misheard it, man. I just want to know how y'all feel about Christian rappers cursing on their songs.
Oh man, this is a conversation we've had a few times.
Yeah.
It's a great convo though, and not for those reasons though, because it's unfortunate that you have to have it. Now, this is a conversation we shouldn't have to have. One of the main things that should change about us is our conversation. There is absolutely no way you could tell me that God is in favor of us using the same negative. Oh, well, it don't talk about cursing in the Bible. There's something completely different. But we talk about profanity. We talk about, like, you cannot represent God. The fountain cannot yield salt water and fresh water out the same fountain. It just does not work. It's not a conversation that we should have to have, but to listen to people defend and make provisions for their flesh, like we did it with the N-word. Like we had a Twitter Spaces. Eric, it had to be like, a couple of years ago. And it was a gang of artists.
It was like a 2-hour conversation.
It was a super long conversation where people was like, well, this is how I talk. And if you come to my house, I'm going to talk like I want to talk. But dog, you don't represent you anymore. If I took up this cross, then that means that I laid down my life. And so if I'm inviting people and I'm giving them a glimpse, everything that I'm doing is supposed to point them to Jesus. Conversation included. So why am I going to use words that makes it difficult for me to communicate Christ to you? Because I could say whatever I want and communicate any other point to you. Why should I use wording that makes it difficult to communicate the message of the kingdom to you? Now I am creating a stumbling block, or I'm an offense to you. I'm going to make you stumble because of my preference, and we should not be in that space. It's very immature.
Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna say this 7th. It goes back further back than Show Baraka, even, man.
Oh, bro, yeah.
With me, I look at it like this: if you tell me this is how I talk in my house, that's an issue to me too.
Facts.
So, and I'm not gonna lie, I talked to a few Christian rappers offline, and they do be talking crazy. And to me, I always think in my mind, right? We can have the argument from a biblical perspective. There's an argument for both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that there is nuance in the biblical conversation, fine. But from a basic common sense conversation, would you let your kids listen to the F-bombs and all that stuff? And if you won't let your kids listen to it, why?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can answer the why, then why are you talking like it? Do you talk like that in front of your children? And if you still talking like that,
Ross, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
the answer is always the why. And if you ask enough why questions, they'll feel convicted about it. Because what I realize is a lot of these people that you call out for cursing, they'll start cursing more to prove a point. And it's like, oh, that proves everything I need to know. Like me, I stopped cursing. You know what I'm saying? I used to curse like a sailor. People can listen to my old music. Everybody know that it's public. But it's like, I stopped. You won't catch me cursing in real life. Ask anybody that's met me in real life. You will not hear no curse word, no N words, none of that come out of my mouth because it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, for a man of God to speak that way.
Amen.
But Jesus talked about what's coming out of your mouth is a reflection of what's in your heart.
Facts.
And like all that stuff is coming out of your mouth, and it don't bother you. That says a lot of deeper things about your character.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the thing I've always said about it is like, you look at mainstream records, right? And it's got to be edited for radio. It had to be edited to be in Walmart for a long time, right? There's warning label, there's a parental advisory label on there. If the world says, hey, there's something wrong with this, we got to do XYZ to it, or we got to warn you about what's in it, and the world sees that, isn't it an issue if Christian culture doesn't see a problem with it?
Well, I think the problem with that is even the goalpost. I'm coming from a DJ perspective. Even the goalpost in that regard has been moved a little bit, because if you check out DJ record pools, you'll be surprised what's let go in clean versions.
Mhm.
The N word is let go. The A word is let go. And in some cases, the GD term is let go in clean versions. The only thing that's let go a lot of times is the F bomb and all the other,
real explicit
Our
stuff.
top three explicit.
Artists aren't as dependent on a radio at this point, so that's part of it.
One thing that I'm noticing about this year that I've been talking about a lot is it seems like the sophistry is just turned way up, and people they're lying. Like they saying stuff, but they're really lying, but they won't admit that they're lying, and it's becoming more and more evident. It's like people just keep lying to your face more and more and more, and at some point I just have to like, oh, you're a liar. That's why. Okay, like I've been believing you all this time. You're not gonna get better because you're just lying. It's just all sophistry.
I mean,
all over the place.
Even take it to sports talk. I mean, we're I would imagine we're all sports fans to some degree. If you look at a certain show on ESPN in midday, they're talking about football. I don't know if I want to say the name. The S word is coming out their mouth raw, uncut, in the middle of the day. And I'm like, kids could be watching this show, and you would think they're talking about sport. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, like D1 said in one of his songs, y'all old heads stop acting like y'all newborns. A lot of these Christian rappers being Christian rappers. I mean, once again, I'm new to Christian rap, but when you look up the history, a lot of people being Christian rap for 10, 12 years.
Yep.
Longer than that, bro.
Yeah. Drinking milk.
They still acting like they newborns. Listen. All I'm saying is, and this is an assumption, so I don't want to speak about it as if it's a fact, but I bet you everybody that defends and act like using profane language on like profanity, like actual profanity on songs is okay. I bet you look deeper in their life, there's a reason for it. There's some like he said, it speaks from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when you look a little closer, listen, all I'm gonna say is people hated me in CHH. But look at everybody that's got mad at me. Look at every single one of the rappers that got mad at me. And so at some point, you got to be like, Bryson had a point. Yeah.
Hey, one thing comparing you to CHH this year, I was saying earlier, I think you set a bar with this. It might not be the bar, but it's a bar that you're setting, because you can't just do music videos no more. You can't just put out an album. It's like there's so much competition. You got to do something to stand out. So you put out a whole movie. Maybe some other people will look at that and fork over. Well, Christian rappers don't have cash, but somebody will have some to put out there.
They're not going to let it be the standard, but it should be. But they're not going to want it to be the standard, because there's more that goes into it than just the production side of it.
Oh yeah,
there's the lifestyle that's behind it. Like, people don't understand. You get product like this because of the sacrifices that you make away from the mic and off camera. It is the life that you invest into this. It's not just dope at this. No. The anointing don't come just because you dope at something, or just because you learned a skill. It does not have to do with that. We talking about the supernatural versus the natural, and people refuse to connect them dots because it means that God is requiring something more than what we're willing to give. You see a product of this, you have no idea of what went into it. How much prayer did you put behind this project, bro?
Bread, money?
No. Prayer. How much prayer time? How much time in prayer did you put behind this product?
You got to add my prayers, my parents' prayers, my wife's prayers, everybody prayers. So much prayer with this project.
Did you fast it all for this project?
Yes, of course.
So right there, two things that most individuals in the space musically do not want to do. I don't want to spend time praying because I feel as though I don't have time to spend prayer. I got other stuff to do. And I definitely don't want to fast because I like to eat, and I don't think it takes that much. Wrong and wrong. How you going to do something for God and God isn't involved in it?
when you do something for God, you got to seek Him first and hope everything will be added to you. That's you know, everybody. I'm telling you, it's because it's deeper than this. Because most people, they think money first. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And me, I'm like, bro, this could give a beautiful message, and you presenting art in a different way. I mean, another reason why is like we look up the Billboard charts. Listen, I'm a music nerd, so we look up the charts. Using profanity is coming up less and less and less. People are tired of slogans.
All right.
They're tired of it. They're tired. If Christians want to really move the needle, now is the perfect time. Shorter is back to where, like in the Beatles days, where songs like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Nobody want to hear all that profanity, and a lot of people are tired of like heavy degeneracy also. So it's clean music more so. You know what I'm saying? You still have the people from like popular artists, like if Beyonce releases a degenerate song, of course it's still gonna do well because she's Beyonce. You look at the newer artists and new music coming out, it's the perfect time for Christians to actually do something. But we're gonna have to, I mean, the anointing has to be on it, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, the cookie cutter stuff ain't gonna do it. And I hate to put it like this, but Brian T. Manager, I was talking to him in real life. See me, I've been calling out stuff in my music for so long. It's like what I do. When I realized there's a shift that happened, I don't know if it was the beginning of this year. Some shifts happened to where people want to hear this now. People are so fed up with what's around them. They want to hear people standing bold on something. People that's not even Christian DMing me. Like I'm not even Christian, bro, but somebody got to say it. You know what I'm saying? And the cookie cutter Christian music is really not going to cut it anymore. People are tired of it. That's why D1 did it from a different angle than I do it. And look at what happened. Look at what happened with D1. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the time, but people got to be. You got to be bold. You got to really stand up. But then again, to have that boldness, you got to be living it. And if you're not living it, of course you're not going to be bold because you're going to feel convicted trying to call somebody else out.
You can only do what you got. If it ain't you, don't do it because you're going to get riddled with bullets. Don't do it.
Yeah. So maybe bar is the wrong word, but like, what is it when you have a point in history that really stands out? Whatever the word is for that, I feel like that's like a marker or something.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Christian rapper do like a real visual album, like a real like one that somebody like really put a lot of work into.
And you ain't have to go to no Diddy parties to get financed.
Oh wow.
No,
I'm sorry. I won't get a while since
party with Diddy. I ain't TD Jakes.
Woo! Oh man! And with that, go check out Bryson the Demon Slayer on YouTube and X. It's on X as well. But don't watch
do it on YouTube though. X is, hey man, X is the most toxic place on the internet, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's getting weird right now.
Bro, Twitter is my favorite app. Twitter was my favorite app. I love the back and forth. I love the conversation. But now everybody's in some small cult, and it's either you 100% with us or you completely against us, bro. And then everything is racial. It's a whole like all I see on Twitter now is racial idolatry, bro. And this is getting so weird, bro. And it's sad. I think it's because Elon started paying people to tweet. I think that's what
selling them blue checks, bro. Selling that verification.
Yeah, people, like when you get paid to tweet, bro. Especially if this is the platform I don't know, bro. I've been tweeting since like 2009. I never even who cares if you get paid to tweet? It's Twitter, bro. But everybody getting paid seriously. So they say things typically to rage bait you into watching their content, retweeting it, and it's typically emotional rage bait. So either a black person getting shot or a white person getting beat up on the video, and the caption is always about race. Look what happened to this innocent white child, or look at this innocent black man. And nobody cares about the context. Nobody's reading deeper into it. It's just, hey, I'm black and I feel like this is true, or I'm white and I feel like this is true, and this confirms my bias. And this,
it's like live leaks now. Just shocking video, people just getting the crap beat out of them as soon as you log on. I'm like, I gotta unfollow people now.
Bro, I done had to unfollow a few people because I'm like, first off, I know you in real life. You never talked like this or talked about this until you started getting paid. No cap. Elijah Schaefer, one of them. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
Elijah Schaefer, conservatives I stopped following.
Yeah. Elijah Schaefer, I like you, bro, but I know you in real life. You were scared to talk about the LGBT 2 years ago. You DM me and told me you was, and now you posting all types of hippity hop for them clicks. People crazy on the internet, man.
Bro, because they're crazy in real life.
Yep.
Yeah, no comment, but they are. That's for sure. No comment. I be having to stop myself because me, I'll just start exposing any and everything, boy. I mean, you know, change the topic.
Eric, are you still with us, bro? Kind of sort.
You thinking about how you're gonna keep up on all them payments?
Anybody see a black jet? Never mind.
Oh man.
Also, I want to make this known too, since I'm already just, listen, I don't want beef with no Christian rappers, man. I really don't. I know people don't believe me when I say it, but I promise y'all I am so for real. I don't want beef with somebody else that proclaims, to be a part of the body of Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. But the Bible say take no parts in evil deeds, but instead expose them. And listen, man, sometimes, and it's very unfortunate because I don't like doing it, but sometimes, man, somebody got to call it like it is and say how it is, because I don't care about signing to any Christian record label. Somebody just emailed me today. I'm like, nah, I'm good on all that because money is just not a motivator of mine. And I don't care about being a part of no cliques. I'm not begging nobody for no feature. You know what I'm saying? So it's very unfortunate that I have to do this. But I have to say this because I saw somebody talking my song Holy Smoke.
Oh, that festival.
It went kind of viral. Somebody saying, Bryson, you're right. You do cause division, yada, 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 yada. And I was like, am I causing the division though? Is it really me? I don't think so.
It's the hearts of the folks involved, man. People hear what they want to hear, interpret stuff the way they want to interpret it, and that's how you end up with, are we at odds? Are we though? You got convicted? Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth?
This is my thing. If the Bible says you can't be friends of the world and friends of God at the same time. Matter of fact, it says you're going to be an enemy of God if you're a friend of the world. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So if there's a Christian artist trying to have it both ways and not say something about it, people like, you go to him private. Well, he didn't do this privately. I think people get a lot of things confused biblically. The Bible says if somebody sins against you, then you go to them, and then after that, you bring 2 or 3 witnesses. Then after that, you take it to the church. Then after that, if they still do it, you treat them like a Gentile or a tax collector. Anybody get mad at I just said that? That's verbatim what the scripture says. Like, treat them like a Gentile and tax collector. It's literally what it says. But it's different when somebody is sinning in public or trying to do things like this in public. Like, and nobody else. And this is how I know people agree with what I just said. Okay, you can hate me, but everybody agreed. I'm gonna tell you how I know. Because let it be about some theology. Let it be about some Trinity, some oneness. Let it be about that. It's gonna be a lot of open rebuke going on without no private contact going on. You know what I'm saying? People pick and choose what they passionate about. People pick and choose what they call out. I done seen all these people that got mad at me. I done saw them call out Marcus Rogers, Brandon Tatum, me, or for some type of theology stuff. But then when it comes to abortion, LGBT, they got shut mouths all of a sudden. And now, Bryson, don't talk about one sin. If you're going to bring up homosexuality, you got to bring up every sin, Bryce. You can't just bring up homosexuality. But when it comes to theology, all these rules change. So, I just find things, I just observe. That's all, y'all.
That's the 0 word of the day, sophistry. They ain't telling the truth.
0 makes up words. Can y'all hear me?
Never made up a word.
I think you be saying stuff that I know I've never heard in my life.
So 7 from Adam said Iowa defeated LSU, and then you left, and I thought that had something to do with it.
No, I think my kids have started playing Apex, I'm sure, and they're sucking up the broadband at the moment. So, the bandwidth. But yeah, man, hey, Bryson, we'll get you back on again soon, man. We appreciate.
Oh
you
yeah, anytime. I won't be late next time.
It's cool,
man. I finally got to hang out with you a little bit.
We got a whole extra show in tonight. It's cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Take next week off.
I feel like I owe y'all, so y'all need me for anything. I'm there because I was like an hour late. I was like, oh man. I still feel bad. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
We appreciate you.
Let's run around. Miss C, any final words?
Man, it's been an honor being on this this platform with y'all once again. I can't wait to do it next time. Bryson, it's been an honor, chatting up with you also.
You too, bro. You too. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. KD?
Man, definitely check out the Demon Slayer. Even if you go into it looking to hate on it, I think you'll be thoroughly impressed by what you come away with. Man, keep holding up the bloodstained banner, man. There's enough individuals, man, crawling in the shells, and doing things for acceptance that doesn't go a very long way. Jesus said, if you deny me before men, I'll deny you before my Father in heaven. That's definitely not the story that you want. So we encourage you to be bold in your faith, but don't just be zealous without knowledge. Intimate relationship with the Lord Jesus, man. Get to know him for yourself and build on that, man, and get to work, because there's an assignment waiting for you. So that's it. That's all, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, man. Zero.
Somebody said something about tax collector, and I know that it's coming toward the crunch time for a lot of people for taxes. I played this computer game called TurboTax, worst game ever. Don't go with that, man. That's all I got for you.
Just real quick. I got my tax and stuff over here. I owe the government. They got me jacked up. Here you go. I owe these folks $22,000, man.
Dang.
They will have to get it back in blood.
That's with the April Fools, bro.
This is not April Fools. This is a real deal Holyfield. The number is right there.
No.
I don't know where they're gonna get that from.
Bro. Bill back a turnip, bro.
Again, make sure y'all tune in Friday night. We get a special announcement for our 520 radio. Dustin, we appreciate the sub for sure. Man, what am I going to say to get us out of here, Katie? Vote for Trump and Candace Owens in 2024 if that's really what you want to do. It's up to you. I'm not judging either way. But it's been a fun time. It's 520 iXc. We'll be back here next Monday. Yeah, man. Let's go.